Just get myself situated here. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining today's What's New in Galaxy Connect webinar. If you haven't already, please take the poll you see on the lower right-hand side of your screen down about there. That'll give us a sense of, who we have, where you are in your journey with Connect, as well as some of the features we'll be using, and it'll help us to make sure we get the appropriate information to you. A little bit of housekeeping for this webinar. If you've joined us for our Webinar Wednesday series, then this will seem very familiar to you. During today's session, we will be using the Q&A as opposed to standard chat. So again, on the lower right-hand corner of your screen, I believe it comes up on the right, kind of backwards now because the screen mirroring, you'll see a Q&A panel. If you go ahead and post your question there, we have a bunch of panelists we'll be introducing in just a moment who will be keeping an eye on those questions and getting back to you with answers. We do reserve the right to bring some questions up in our session if we think that it'll be a good verbal conversation for everybody. So yeah, absolutely, please keep those questions coming. We want to hear your thoughts. And that's really it on the housekeeping. So again, please take the poll. Please use the Q&A, communicate with us, let us know what you think as we're going through this. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, fantastic. Okay, so we're in the What's New with Galaxy Connect session. My name is Bill D'Angelo. I am the Product Communications Manager here at Gateway Ticketing. I am joined by a fantastic panel today. We have Zach Yusupchuk, our Senior Program Manager here at Gateway. We have Amy Roberts, Technical Support Analyst, who is going to be helping us out as well. She's going to be our point person for WebEx, helping us make sure everything runs smoothly. On our panel, we also have Nell Smoyer, the Supply Partner Manager here at Gateway, as well as Chris Izzo, Supply Partner Manager. You probably all know Nell and Chris from all your Connect needs today. And we also have joining us Wanda Kalbach, who is our Distribution Partner Manager here at Gateway. So thank you to our panel for joining us. So if you have any questions for any of us, feel free to use that Q&A and pose those questions. For today's agenda, we're going to be going through not just the new features, but we're going to start off with just a high level what is Connect. There are some people that are on the webinar I see as these polls are coming in right now that have not onboarded with Connect or have not even thought about Connect yet. So we're going to start with a high level overview of Connect for just a couple minutes so we're all on the same page. After we do that, then we'll dive into some of the fun new functionality we've added for Galaxy Connect. After we've gone through, what the new features look like, we're going to dive into how we're going to roll those features out. How can you take advantage of this new functionality in your facility? And finally, we'll have some dedicated Q&A time at the end for any questions that did not come up during the session or get answered during the session. Excuse me. All right, so let's get rolling. Let's start by talking about what exactly is Galaxy Connect for those of you who have not really interacted with Galaxy Connect before. So to understand Galaxy Connect, we want to understand some of the vocabulary and some of the roles involved. On one hand, we have our suppliers. These are the zoos, water parks, amusement parks, art museums, botanical gardens, history museums, aquariums, all the places that have the tickets that people want to get, places people want to go to. Those are our suppliers. They are supplying the experiences to the guest, and they are supplying tickets for those guests to experience it. Then we have the distributors. These are your online ticket agents, your Expedia, your Travelocity, your C-Trips, I'm blanking out, but all those OTAs that want to sell tickets on behalf of the suppliers. Well, in the olden days, before Galaxy Connect, if, let's say, the water park wanted to sell tickets through a distributor, they would have to set up all the technological back end so that distributor had a way of getting the sales over to the supplier. And as that supplier, that in this case that water park, wanted to work with other OTAs, they would again have to set up not just the legal agreements and how much are we going to charge, but also all the technological back end to make a connection between them and that distributor. And so it goes for every single supplier and every distributor or every OTA they wanted to work with. Now you may notice our aquarium there isn't currently working with any OTAs. However, if they were thinking about starting, and this is the kind of web they saw, there would really be only one logical response. Not to say what that logical response is, but yeah, I mean, who would want to dive into that? I mean, it's a little scary to get involved in this big ecosystem. And that's where Galaxy Connect comes in. With Galaxy Connect, we simplify the whole thing. Because again, that old way, the problem was you have all the legal agreements, the agreements on pricing, how you're going to be billed. That's all part of it. But then there was this whole other technological layer of having to build this communication, build this the solution between the supplier and the distributor that you also had to contend with for every single distributor. Well, Galaxy Connect simplifies things. It takes that technological aspect and shrinks it to the point where it's pretty well gone. It makes the connection, the technological part, much easier. So you can focus on just the business side. You know, what are the prices we're going to charge? What's our agreements? When are we going to bill you? All that stuff that just needs to be there so you get paid. And the technological side, again, becomes a non-issue. The whole idea is to speed up that time to market and simplify these relationships you have with these OTAs. So again, to make the technological side, stumbling over my words here, a bit easier, instead of having to connect to each distributor individually, that water park integrates with Galaxy Connect, as does the zoo, the amusement park, the art museum, the botanical garden, and the history museum. Likewise, all the distributors, each of those OTAs, your Expedias, your Viators, your C-Trips, all of them would again just connect or integrate with Galaxy Connect. I was about to say connect with Connect, caught myself, but they integrate with Galaxy Connect. So it's much, much simpler. Now for that aquarium that's thinking that they want to partner with OTAs, it's much, much easier. Rather than having to integrate with all these different OTAs, all these different online ticket agencies, they simply link up with Galaxy Connect, and now they have access to these different online ticket agencies. So that's the high-level overview of Connect. Let's just make sure we're on the same page as far as vocabulary goes, because if we toss out some of this vocabulary, I want to make sure that it's not going to get confusing. So again, suppliers, that's like this aquarium or the amusement park or the water park. They're the ones with the tickets, with the stuff guests want to go to. They are supplying the tickets to those experiences. Your distributors, these are your online ticket agencies. Again, your C-Trips, your Viators, Groupons, you name it. When a supplier and a distributor link up in Connect to say, hey, we're going to sell tickets for you, and we have all our agreements in place, and we set up that path between the two, that is called a channel. So here we see the channel between, in purple, between the aquarium and that OTA represented by the shopping cart. And finally, we have a booking. And a booking is just a term that's used for when the OTA or the distributor sells tickets on behalf of the supplier. So that's really it. Again, just a high-level overview of Connect, because again, I could see by our polls that are still coming in, there are some that haven't seen it yet. So again, just kind of level sets you. So now that we have the basics down, let's get into the fun stuff. Let's talk about all cool new stuff in Galaxy Connect. So we're going to start with management tools. So with Connect, you now have the ability to manage what products you're selling directly in Galaxy. You don't have to necessarily, well, I think right now it's drop an email to Chris or Nell and wait a while, and eventually you can start selling it and they'll get back to you. But now you don't have to do that. You can set up product for yourself using our management tools in Galaxy. There we go. Sales program pricing. Again, it used to be that you would make a new product for what you wanted to, I'm just going to make up some names here, for the rate at which you want to sell your GA ticket to Expedia versus the rate at which you want to sell your GA ticket to Viator versus C-Trip. You would create different products because they all had different price points. Well, now Galaxy will honor the sales program pricing attached that you use for Connect. So you can use a single product across multiple OTAs, across multiple distributors, and have the sales program figure out the rate. And finally, price schedules. And this comes in great if you're doing things like you have a dolphin show where you charge a different price during the week than on the weekend. No more need for multiple different products and the distributor to know which one's which. You could sell those products with the price schedule in place that will basically determine here's how much you should sell it for. So let's take a deeper dive. Let's look at those management tools. Again, what we're going to look at is how Galaxy Sales Channel Manager can now be used to see what distributors you're working with and view their settings, as well as add, remove, and update the different products you offer to those distributors. So let's take a look in Galaxy, and I know I have this up in a PowerPoint, but that's not fun. Let me shrink this a bit and go to Galaxy itself. And I want to go here to Sales Channel Maintenance, Sales Channels. All right, so here I am, the Sales Channel Manager, and you can see I now have a sales channel called Galaxy Connect. Woohoo! And that sales channel, Galaxy Connect, you can have one or more, mostly will just be one, Connect environment. This basically just indicates the Connect server that you are linking up with. In my Connect environment, I have several distributors or several OTAs I am working with. And for those of you that are used to working with Sales Channel Manager, these distributors are categories in my Sales Channel Manager, and my environment is my category group in Sales Channel Manager. So for any of these, let's start with C-Trip, because why not? They're at the bottom. I can open that C-Trip category, that C-Trip distributor, and I could see that I have 4 products that I am selling for C-Trip. I have some 2017 versions of my adult and child general admission for C-Trip, as well as 2 updated partner tickets that I'm selling through C-Trip. And again, beautiful thing with Sales Channel Manager right now, and again, we'll get into some of the screens here as the features become relevant, but we can add product. We can delete product. If we change the value of that ticket, we can publish that change up to Connect. Not only can we publish or push changes up to Connect, we can download the data from Connect and have Connect pull down, okay, what am I currently selling? What's definitively up there that my OTA partners are using, that these distributors are using? If you download from Connect, we will refresh the local data based on what's up in Connect. Very useful tool when you're first starting, so you don't have to build your sales channel manager. You can link up to Connect and say, hey, download everything, so I have a starting point. Let me jump back over here because I got a little excited, went a little off script, and I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, so we talked about the environment and your different levels. We can download from Connect. Yeah, I did forget to mention, you can download from Connect by right-clicking at any given point. You don't have to just use the publish download, publish drop-down, but you can right-click the download from Connect or to publish data to Connect. And we talked about you can add products and delete products. Just like your sales channel manager for the web store, when you're using Sales Channel Manager for Galaxy Connect, you have to edit or unlock your products in order to manipulate them. Oh, you know what? I did forget. I totally missed validation, which is probably a good thing because my Sales Channel Manager is going to validate because I don't have any errors in my data. But yeah, the validate tool that you use for Web Store that tells you, hey, these are problems you might want to fix. It works for Galaxy Connect too. Different rules. Galaxy Connect operates differently, but the validate button does work. So you can highlight your Connect sales channel and validate everything you're selling through Connect. Or you can validate just an environment, or you can validate just a distributor. Depending on what you select will depend on what you're validating. But when you hit that validate button, we're going to go through and we're going to check a whole bunch of different rules to make sure, are you in good shape? Do you have everything configured properly within these rules that we have set up for sale with Galaxy Connect? So let's talk, oh yeah, so sorry, validate button, that's important. So yeah, hit the validate button if you want to check out your setup and make sure everything's on the up and up. And again, anything that's wrong, we'll give you a list saying, okay, this product's not right, this product's not right. For instance, here I'm seeing one of the products I'm trying to sell is using a pricing methodology that Connect doesn't support. It's using a use time pricing methodology. For those of you that are not familiar with it, the use time pricing methodology is a functionality where you sell tickets at one price, and then after it gets scanned, you adjust the price to something else. So in the world before Connect, this was a way of handling consignment. I would sell a bunch of tickets to a partner at $0. Then after the tickets got used, I would reprice them and bill that partner. So, okay, sorry, tangent there. Let's talk a little bit about what rules Connect is actually checking. What are we looking for? And to do this, because that's a lot of text on screen, I am not a fan of text on screen. Here we go. So the first thing Connect is going to do is going to see, is this product that is being sent up to Connect valid for sale? So is it a general admission ticket? Is it an event ticket? Is it a donation? Is it a package? These are the product types that Connect supports, and we want to make sure that whatever you're going to publish up to Connect is one of those product types. If it's a package, is it a single media package? Is it package item priced? Are you using at most one resource managed ticket in that package? When it comes to pricing, are you using a valid pricing model? A little asterisk there, because we're going to get into pricing models in a little bit when we talk about price schedules. So I'm kind of pushing that off for right now, building the suspense, as it were. Is the product you're publishing up in the sales program that is being used with this distributor, with this OTA? What we don't want is we don't want you saying, hey, sell the senior July 4th gala ticket and publishing it up to connect, your OTA sells it, and then those orders get rejected because they're not allowed to sell it according to your sales program. So this is going to make sure that that ticket is valid for sale. Is the ticket configured to issue as active? Is the ticket, we want to make sure that the ticket is not pass required. And is it using a valid tax model? And again, in Connect, that means that it's either not taxed or the price tax is included in the price of the ticket. Are there things we don't check as part of this? Yes. For instance, if you set up a sales program that ends October 31st, but business-wise it should have ended December 31st, we don't know what your business rules are for your sales program expiration, so that won't necessarily be something that's flagged. If you're selling event tickets, do you have events at the right dates and times? You know, you may have events starting July 1st, they were supposed to start August 1st. And that's the sort of thing we can't necessarily validate for. So it's not checking everything, but it's checking those core system rules that we want to make sure you're following before you publish up to Connect. On that note, when you publish, the first thing Connect is going to automatically do, or sorry, the first thing Sales Channel Manager will automatically do is it will perform that validate before it does the publish. So you don't have to worry about remembering to validate and then publishing. If you just hit the publish button, Galaxy will do the validation and then it will push your changes up to Connect. So it's, makes your life a little easier. One thing to remember is, just like your web store, when you publish, you're only publishing that selected level, meaning your sales channel, your environment, your distributor, or that product, and whatever it contains. So again, if I select the environment, every distributor, in my case, Get Your Guide, Expedia, Viator, and Ctrip, all of them will have their data pushed up. They will all get updated.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
Can I interrupt and take us back just a little bit?
Of course.
So one of the attendees, Matthew Taylor, asked about why packages in Galaxy Connect need to be single media. Number one, because that's the structure from a data standpoint that Connect supports right now. But number two, and probably more importantly, is that our distribution partners, Ctrip, as Bill was talking about, Expedia, TripAdvisor, Viator, Get Your Guide, they're only expecting one barcode for one product. So if we were to change that model, they would need to change their systems to be able to accept however many you would send. And right now, that's not something that they can support. It also would need to be something that all of them would support across the board, or we'd need to keep track of who could and who couldn't support it. So that complexity is a little beyond the level of these third-party sales right now.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Wanda. All right. Yeah, publishing. Sorry. So again, if I want to push up all of my distributors, all those OTAs, update all their information, I can publish from the environment level. If I was only interested in updating the information for Viator, I would select that Viator category or that Viator distributor, and I could publish only that level. And it would publish, again, Viator and all its products. You could choose to publish only a product. So just push, in this case, my child partner GA up to Viator, and that's it. However, I say that with a caveat. If you try to delete a product, you need to publish from either the environment or the distributor level, from the category level. Otherwise, if I just push the child GA, there's nothing in that publish that says, and oh, by the way, I also deleted the senior partner GA in the same at the same time. So if you're going to remove product, then it's important to publish from a higher level so that when we send, here's all the tickets for Viator, Well, senior is not on that list, it's going to get dropped. So that's what the little asterisk there means.
Bill, this is Nell. Can I jump in for just 1 second also?
Of course.
Sorry for interrupting. I just want to, for everybody who's looking at this and thinking, oh my gosh, where am I going to get started? I just want to remind everybody, Bill talked on it a little bit, and he's going to cover it a little bit further. For those of you that are currently on Connect, you're going to find out that to start this whole process, the very first thing you're going to do is pull all the data down from Connect. So this is all going to be there for you. So nobody's going to be starting from scratch with this if you're currently on Connect. So I just wanted to, I think there may be some people looking at this and going, oh my gosh, I'm not going to know where to start. And don't worry, you'll see everything that's already built for you will be pulled down automatically for you. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Yep, right after we have the highlight of what the features are, we have a whole section called Rolling It Out, where we'll see exactly how to get started and what's going to happen. So yeah, we'll absolutely talk about that. Thank you, Nell. And I like how you work that in without giving away any spoilers, so even better. Okay. So that's just kind of a high level, what can I do with Sales Channel Manager with Galaxy Connect. Let's take a quick look at what's going to happen now with sales program pricing in Galaxy Connect. So Connect has always had some involvement with sales programs. The sales programs were attached to your order. They determined what was allowed to be sold. If somebody tried to sell a product they weren't supposed to according to the sales program, it would reject the order. So sales programs have always been integrated with Connect to some level, but the pricing methodologies in sales programs are a new feature. And this is really cool because what it does is allows you to reuse one product, one PLU, potentially across multiple different distributors or all of their different distributors, because the product itself doesn't have to be defining the price point. The product could be at your standard gate price, and the sales program could be used to define what the price point should be to that OTA, to that distributor. So again, it's just less maintenance for you. So again, the sales programs, same one you've been using with in order entry and with Connect, nothing's changed there. The only difference is, including again the constraints, that hasn't changed. But what is new is, again, your sales program rates. Now we will honor that rate. If you go into your rate on a sales program, we will honor single rates attached to a sales program in Connect. So you can use a single rate that is an amount off, a flat price, a percentage off, or a price schedule. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now, it is important to note that these are just straightforward rates. We're not supporting the table rates where it's gate price up to 3 tickets, 3 to 7 tickets, it's 15% off, 7 to 9 tickets, it's $3 off, 9 to 12 tickets, it's $2.50 per ticket, and 12 tickets and up, it's 10% premium. You know, the crazy rates we're not supporting. It's just your straightforward, the ones everybody uses, your simple rates, an amount off, a flat price, a percentage, or a price schedule. So the implications of this are pretty cool. Here I have a straightforward ticket, my senior partner GA. Notice I'm not calling this my senior Expedia ticket or my senior Get Your Guide ticket. It's just the senior partner GA ticket. And via the sales program, we are going to say that when sold by Get Your Guide, their sales program is going to take 15% off the gate price. So they're going to get it for $12.75 as opposed to the configured $15. And when it's sold by Expedia, our agreement with them is $2 off the gate price, which would be $13. And let's see that in Galaxy. Let me leave this a moment. Oops. Here we go. So if I come up here to Get Your Guide, and I pick my senior partner GA ticket, So here I could see my gate price, my base price is $15. And my Get Your Guide is using the Connect 15% off sales program, which conveniently, because I'm boring like that, I configured it to take 15% off the price. Could have gotten crazy and called it, Ethel, I made it take 15% off, but why do that? And again, what we're using through Connect for Get Your Guide for the Senior Partner GA is $12.75. And notice my product code GASNN001. If I jump down here to Expedia, Senior Partner GA, same product code, GASNN001, Senior Partner GA, same base price, $15. This one's using the Connect $2 off sales program, which is taking $2 off according to the rate. So I'm getting my final price of 15 minus 2 or $13 when that same exact product is being sold via Expedia. So it's not the product code. I don't have to have two different products, one for Expedia, one for Get Your Guide. It's the same product code in Galaxy, but it's the sales program that's attached to the vendor, to the distributor, that's making that determination of what price is being charged. Hold on one second. Sorry, just getting everything rolling in again. Oh, okay. I was having a little fun with animations. Sorry. Okay, so that's the new sales program feature. Let's take a look at the new price scheduling feature. So the feature is Connect now honors your price schedules. We will honor price schedules based on the sale date and time, based on the visit date and time, and based on the event date and time. So for those of you keeping track, as we mentioned earlier, the one we're not honoring is the use date and time, which is older functionality, not really relevant for Connect. So you can base your use the same product and sell that product at a different price based on time of day. Now, what does this change? Today, if I wanted to sell a 5D movie ticket, let's just say the child 5D movie ticket, and I had one price point for a weekday, one price point for weekends before 2 p.m., and one price point for weekends after 2 p.m., we would have to make 3 different products. And this is the old way of doing things. It would be up to the OTA, up to the distributor, to determine which of these products they should be selling based on the event that the guest wants to go to, and then submit the order using the correct product for that event date and time. On your side, on the supplier side, it would behoove you to inspect those results every now and again, make sure the right ticket was being used with the right events, so that everything was being carried out according to your agreements. And this just wasn't for child 5D movie tickets. Remember, you also want to sell adult 5D movie tickets. You want to sell senior 5D movie tickets. So just for this 5D movie, I have now 9 tickets for this one distributor, and they got to figure out which ones to sell. And oh, don't forget, I have other distributors that have different price points, and they all get their own set of products. So there's potentially a lot of product you're setting up in order to support this 5D movie theater ticket. Well, now with price schedules, if you set up a price calendar like we are here, I have my events price calendar where Monday through Thursday is counted as a weekday and Friday through Sunday is counted as a weekend. They're all designated in my calendar. My child partner 5D theater ticket is set for a visit date, so I can base my price on when the event takes place. I'm using that event price calendar. And in here, whoops, got ahead of myself. In my definition down below, let me get my handy dandy laser pointer again. We can see that on the weekdays, all day, we're going to charge $8. On the weekends, before 2 p.m., we're going to charge $10. Now, it would be a good idea to also define weekends after 2 p.m., but I forgot. Totally forgot. I left a hole in my price schedule. No problem. If you were using Galaxy, if we had a hole in the price schedule, we would fill it in using the base price. Connect does the same thing. So because my price schedule has a gap of weekdays after 2, or weekends, I should say, after 2 p.m., it's going to fall back to that base price, which is $12. So again, we encourage you to try to cover your price schedule, try to cover your calendar, have prices defined all the time. It's just easier than trying to say, okay, what are the gaps I left? Let me go back and see what the base price is. But if you accidentally leave a gap, no problem. Those tickets aren't going to be free. They'll use the base price as a backup. Well, if your base price is 0, sure, but put in a base price just to cover yourself. So yeah, you know what? Just for time's sake, I'm just going to use the PowerPoint. So if we look at our sales channel manager, here I am looking at my child partner 5D theater ticket. Down here on that same item view where we saw the sales program price, this particular product does not have a sales program price. It wasn't what I was trying to show. If we look at tomorrow's date, Thursday the 18th, we're seeing all day from midnight to 11:59 p.m., the price is going to be $8. If we change this date, and this is just a viewer, by the way, we're not actually changing anything to Connect. If we change that to Saturday the 20th, now we're seeing that from midnight to 1:59 p.m., the price is $10, and from 2 p.m. to 11:59 p.m., the price is $12. So you can double check your price points for that vendor for any given product through Sales Channel Manager. Sorry, a little parched. And that's really it on the setup. I mean, if you use price schedules today, we're just honoring them now. So the end result, we don't need 3 different products for that child 5D movie ticket. We can consolidate that down to a single child 5D product. Same thing with adult as well as with senior. We can consolidate those products. Instead of having 3, 1 for each price point, we can have a single one. And the same thing goes with every other distributor you work with. So not to get ahead of ourselves, but if we combine the price schedule capability, so now I'd only need 1 product for that time slot, or for any time slot for a given event, as well as sales programs where we could adjust the price being offered. Well, once you have those 2 features together, now I don't necessarily need separate tickets for each of my distributors. I can go from having, in my example, 45 different product codes to cover my 5D movie ticket to having potentially 3 adult, child, senior that cover my 3 time slots, and using sales programs to adjust the price points as I need, and that could cover all my distributors. For your distributors, for your OTAs, this is going to change what they do a little bit, because again, remember in the past they were used to deciding which ticket to use based on the event chosen. Well, now it's going to look a little different. Now that distributor is going to communicate with Connect to say, okay, here's the date and time that the guest is choosing. Connect will say, well, here's the price point that you should charge for that date and time, and then they charge appropriately and complete the booking, place the order. The idea here is that, well, now they're selling the tickets at the right price point according to the price schedule. That's going to greatly reduce, hopefully even eliminate your need to inspect so much to make sure everybody's selling at the right price point. Because again, it's going to be driven by Connect of what you want to charge, and what Connect is going to say is based on what your Galaxy settings are, what you push up to the system. One important note here, this does indicate a change in process for distributors. So before a given distributor can use this, they have to be certified. So we have to know that they're asking the prices properly and they're going to apply them properly. So there is some work for those OTAs to use this functionality. So there is a knowledge base article, QR codes up on screen. As distributors start to adopt this functionality and get certified, you will see that distributor certification status on this knowledge base article. So again, as they ramp up and get certified, we'll be listing them in this location. And panel, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. For those of you that are not watching this webinar with cell phone in hand ready to snap a QR, if you could grab that link and maybe chat it out to all participants, that would be fantastic. So yeah, if you don't see your distributor on the certification list, let us know and let them know that you're interested. So they're, they know that you want to sell tickets in this way.
Hi, Bill. I'm going to chime in just a little bit since I'm the one that works with the distributors. So the certification process for them really involves enhancements on their end in their system, because they're going to need to be able to adjust their retail rate based on whatever it is you're specifying. The work that they'll do will be to consume those prices so they know what they are, so that they can adjust their rates. So we'll note when we know that they're able to support it, but definitely, as Bill mentioned, your sales team should be communicating to them your intent to use this functionality so that they're motivated to build that function into their system, because otherwise they're going to keep the status quo. If nobody motivates them appropriately, they're going to say, oh, it's working fine the way it is, and they're not going to change anything. We can't force them to do it. We won't force them to do it, because that would impact your sales if you didn't want to change. So you're the best motivator.
Cool. Thank you, Wanda. All right. So that completes our overview of the new features. And as Mel alluded to earlier, we're going to shift over to talk about what it's going to take to get these new features on your site and how to roll this whole thing out. So let's start with the most basic piece. You want to start using Sales Channel Manager to manage Connect. Pretty simple. This is a three-part process. You're going to meet with your Gateway Supply Partner Manager, Nell or Chris. They're going to work with you just to ensure you have a couple small configurations in your system, that you're prepared to take on Connect management, and then you download. Pretty much it. It's really straightforward. So it all starts with you telling us that you want to start using Sales Channel Manager. What you see here is the Gateway Support Desk. When you log into your Gateway Support Desk, there is a Request Galaxy Connect request type. Fill it out. Let us know that you are interested in setting up Sales Channel Manager. You want to make changes to your Connect setup and you want to start using Sales Channel Manager. That's all you need to do. Once you've let us know that you want to start using Sales Channel Manager with Connect, we're going to set up a 30-minute call with you to make sure you're on the right version, because this does require Galaxy 7.3.20. Oh, Zach, bail me out here. I forgot the number.
It's 7.3.2016.
7.3.2016. Thank you. So you do have to be on Galaxy 7.3.2016. And for those of you on feature branches, there are versions of the feature branches as well that will have this. But for everybody who's on that main maintenance branch, 7.3.2016. So they're going to make sure you're running the right version. They're going to make sure that, frankly, that you have your processes and your stuff ready, because we want to make sure that you don't get it, start playing around, and accidentally delete a product that, I don't know, let's say Groupon was supposed to be selling, and then you have agreement issues with them. So, we're just going to make sure that you're prepared for the implications of managing it on your own. Again, that you're on the right version. You may need to upgrade your site before we can work with you to get all this rolled out. And then we're going to do some configuration with you. There is a new setup well, not new, it's been in there for a while, but nobody used it yet. A new setup in Galaxy called Connect Configuration. And think of this almost like your publishing URL for the web store. This is where we're going to set up, where do you publish to when you publish to Connect? Where do you download from? What's your Connect URL? In my case, I have it set up for a demo server we have here. What is your API key? I probably should have blurred that out, but it's not. You're not going to use it anyway. But that is your unique identifier in Connect. Letting Connect know that this is legit. You are who you say you are. You're allowed to connect. Here's who I'm pushing or pulling on behalf of. And we're going to make sure you have this enable bookings turned on. Don't worry about the rest of it. You probably want to give it a name. Again, call it whatever you want. I'm a big fan of naming things Gertrude Esterhaus, but that's just me. But you can really name it whatever you like. But as long as you have these three key things down, enable bookings, your API key is in there, which you probably don't have. That'll be one of the things we give you on that meeting. And the Connect URL, you're set. You build that Connect URL, you save it, saves directly to the database. You don't need to publish or anything. And then you link it in your sales channel manager. You simply make a category group, a sales channel, give it a name. I called mine Galaxy Connect. You make a category group, set the type to Galaxy Connect, link your configuration profile you just made, and then download. Once you've done that and you say download, all of those settings, all of your distributors, all the product they sell, everything will be pulled down from Connect. And I just want to point out, there we go. A quick word on publishing. When you publish with Connect, which I got to make sure. When you publish to Connect, the publishing looks a little different than with the web store. You're not going to see the publishing manager being used. You're not going to schedule in advance. It's simply going to use RESTful API calls, for those of you who really want to get nerdy, to push those changes up to Connect. And I lost my connection to VPN where my server lives. Oopsies. Okay, I'll reconnect next time somebody's answering a question, and then I can publish again. But yeah, it's going to basically use a RESTful API call, push those changes right now up to Connect. And if you publish your environment, it's going to send calls for each of your distributors and update them each on the spot. So yeah, and it's the same idea when you download. It's simply going to pull them all down, populate all your categories and all of your product details, and that's it. It's all in there. So again, just go back to the question Nell was addressing earlier. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to rebuild every distributor. You don't have to rebuild every product. You just need to set up this configuration profile, make your sales channel, which really just needs a name, make your environment, which needs a name, a type, and a link over to that profile, and download. Super simple. Now, one thing you may notice when you do that download, you may find some old data in there. If you've transitioned products over the years that you've been on Connect, and maybe you let your supply partner manager know, I have a new product that needs to be sold, here's the product code, but maybe you didn't tell them that here's the product I want taken down. You might have that old product that's just legacy, not used anymore, still sitting in that sales channel manager, as well as the new current product. If I look here in my sales channel manager, I have my new product, but I also have some products from 2017 that I maybe forgot to let people know that that should be taken down now. So you may want to do some cleanup. You may want to get rid of some of that legacy product that you no longer need. So let's talk about that process. And we're going to start with who do you need? Because Connect is a very collaborative tool. There's always going to be people involved, stakeholders involved that you have to work with. So of course you'll be involved as the Galaxy system admin because you're going to be actually executing the tasks. You're going to want to make sure you work with your Galaxy Supply Partner Manager, Gateway Supply Partner Manager to help you out. And very, very, very important, most important person in this process is that business rep, the one who owns the relationship with these OTAs. You don't want to do any changes without their go-ahead because, again, they are responsible for the relationship with those distributors and making sure that everything flows properly. So this particular process, again, super simple. Identify what products you want to remove. After you get that list approved, go ahead and delete them from your sales channel manager and then publish your changes. So it all starts with basically just building a list. Go through the sales channel manager. Here I've identified 4 different products. I just built it into a spreadsheet. The 2015 Gala event, the 2017 GA Adult, and a couple more 2015 Gala events sold on behalf of C-Trip and Viator and Get Your Guide. So built a spreadsheet, didn't delete anything, just built a spreadsheet, nice little approved column here. Off it goes to the business rep so they can sign off. Again, they are accountable for the relationship with the distributor, so make sure they sign off. Protect yourself.
Hey, Bill, I'm going to add just one little column to that.
Mm-hmm.
Price is often important, the net rate that the distributors cost, because often your sales team, the business rep, the marketing or salesperson, won't really have defined what the product code is in Galaxy. You'll define that when you're setting it up. What they will have defined is what the experience was and what the price they negotiated with that distributor was.
Okay. So there's my horrible on-screen writing. Let's add a column for price to your spreadsheet. Thank you, Wanda. So once you get the buy-in from the folks who own the relationship with that vendor, then you're clear to go ahead and start deleting products. Just a quick note, remember that after you delete that product, you want to publish from the environment, so you update all your distributors, or from, if you're just working on one distributor at a time, that distributor themselves. Don't publish at the product level because that won't push deletions up. And that's really it if you want to clean up product. Now, if you find there's an entire distributor you don't work with anymore and you try to delete them, one thing you'll find is that next time you download from Connect, they just come back. Okay? Distributor changes are going to be done by your supply partner managers. So with Sales Channel Manager, you can control the product you sell to a distributor, but again, the distributors, actual control of the distributors themselves, of those channels you work with, are going to be handled by Nell and Chris, by your supply partner manager. So if you want to remove a distributor entirely, again, only with the sign off of your business rep, go ahead and put in a request through the customer service portal. Let us know that you want to remove a distributor, and we'll get the request. We'll let you know when it's done, and you simply download the change after it's complete, and you'll find that distributor has gone bye-bye from your sales channel manager. Really, really simple. Similarly, if you want to add a new distributor, if you want to take on a new partner, a new OTA you haven't worked with before, you're going to find that the button for adding a category is disabled Because again, your supply partner manager builds the connection, builds the channel, the link between you and your distributor. Once it's there, that link between you and your OTA, you can manage the product. But this part is staying on the gateway side. So again, if you want to take on a new distributor, a new OTA, not hard at all. You're going to want to involve, again, yourself, obviously, your supply partner manager, who's going to create that distributor on the Galaxy side, Connect side. And again, your business rep is going to be very, very important in this process. Process is really super simple. Create your Galaxy setup, the customer you're going to use to track the order, the sales program you're going to use, get your business people to sign off on it, maybe set up an order and order entry. Let us know, and we'll add that distributor in Galaxy, in Connect, and then download it, and you can start adding your product. So again, super simple. Start in Galaxy. Create the sales program you want to use, or if you have one you want to use already, just note what the sales program ID is, because we're going to need that. Create the customer record for this new OTA that you're going to be working with, that you want to record those orders that come into Galaxy. And again, note the customer ID number, because we're going to need that. You probably won't, but just, do you need a new delivery method? Do you have to build new product? But just build these components that you may need later on. I do recommend, before we get to the request, start by creating an order and order entry. Create an order and order entry on behalf of that new customer with the product they're configured to use, using the proper sales program, and let your business rep see that. Show them that order. Let them say, okay, these are the right price points, these are the right product, this is the right customer, everything's good. Once you have their sign-off, reach out to us. Again, go to that support desk. Let us know you want to add a distributor. Send in that new distributor worksheet, the same one you've used today. Same exact distributor worksheet you have today. You just don't have to fill in the product. You're going to handle that later. We just need to know the customer, the sales program, that distributor side of it. That meta information about your OTA. We'll take that information, that customer ID, the sales program ID, we'll build the distributor on our side and Connect. We'll let you know when it's done. As soon as it's ready, back in your sales channel manager, download your data. Pull everything down from Connect. You'll find when you do, that new distributor is in there. At which point, once that distributor is there, is that the right customer ID I gave them? Wow, my pointer is really off. Let's try this. There you go. Is that the right customer ID I provided? Good to go. Is that the right sales program I provided? Good to go. Great. Now we can start adding our product. Which the bubble keeps disappearing. That's interesting. Now we can start adding our product to our distributor. And once we've added all that product, we are ready to start to just publish. Really simple. Again, be sure to publish not just the one product, because you're probably adding more than one thing. Publish the environment or publish that entire distributor. But that's it. Super simple. The last process we're going to talk about is consolidation. You have different products for each distributor. You want to simplify your setup and just have one set of product that goes across distributors, take advantage of some of these new features. So again, we're going to focus on who's involved because everything with Connect is collaborative. It is a collaboration tool after all. Of course, you're going to be involved. You're driving this whole process home as a system admin. Your supply partner manager is going to be involved. We're going to be helping you out as you get consolidated and get everything going the way you want it to run. Your business rep is going to be involved because, again, they ultimately own that relationship with those online ticket agencies, with those OTAs. and everything needs their approval because at the end of the day, they are accountable for that relationship. And because what we're doing is going to affect the individual OTAs here, we're going to get them involved at some point too. Sounds scary, really isn't. We're going to walk you through the whole process here. Oh, by the way, those OTAs, just like the business reps, are absolutely key participants. So first thing you're going to do, if part of your plan is to introduce price schedules, then make sure you go to that knowledge base article, use linked here. Again, there's a QR code, or you can go to the knowledge base. In the knowledge base, go to Galaxy Connect and then Galaxy Connect distributor list. Make sure the partner you want to do this with, if you want to introduce price schedules, is certified to do so. Once you've validated that, fantastic. Sorry. So, okay. We know we have a plan. Either I'm not using price schedules or I am using price schedules, and that OTA is certified, so we're good to go. We're going to take this whole process in two parts. And we're going to do that, take this in two parts, in two phases, frankly, just to make it easier and smoother. The first part doesn't involve the OTA at all. We're going to update our sales programs because chances are right now you have one sales program called Connect, and that's it. You just keep reusing it over and over and over again because there's really no advantage right now for you to use multiple sales programs. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by differentiating those sales programs. And then once we have that done, which again doesn't really involve the OTAs, then we'll start rolling out our consolidated product, which is where the OTAs step in and they have to make sure they're selling the right stuff. And now I have that song stuck in my head. They're going to make sure they're selling the right stuff when you're cutting over. So we're going to start with that phase one. In order to really understand what we're doing here, let's take a look at what happens today. So here I have three distributors, three OTAs, C-Trip, Viator, and Get Your Guide, all selling on behalf of Starlight Zoo. Now, when a guest buys a ticket through C-Trip, they are going to create a booking, and part of the info tagged on that booking is that, hey, this booking is for supplier Starlight Zoo. That booking goes to Connect. Connect is going to send you an order, and it's going to say, hey, this was sold from your Galaxy customer called C-Trip, and they used the Connect sales program. When a guest buys through Viator, same thing. Viator creates the booking. They tag it as being for supplier Starlight Zoo. We're going to send you the order using the Viator customer and, again, the Connect sales program. And same exact thing when you purchase through Get Your Guide. Same theme. Guest buys a ticket. They target the supplier it's for. We send you the order with the right customer using that Connect sales program. So all of your OTAs are using the same Connect sales program most likely. Because again, there wasn't much advantage for you to build multiples before. So the first thing you're going to do is with your business rep, you're going to identify your different tiers or classes or your different kinds of deals you have with these OTAs, and you're going to build new sales programs for the various rules and price points. I have two here, 20% off gate and $5 off gate. Notice that they are in quotes. They're in quotes for a reason. They are, quote, 20% off because I'm not going to build these new sales programs with any rates just yet. Right now, these are placeholders just to help me differentiate for the various OTAs. So when I fully implement it, this sales program will give 20% off gate. This sales program will give $5 off the gate price. But right now, they're placeholders. So we build these sales programs. They're really just copies of your current Connect sales program. They don't have any rates attached. And attach them to the correct OTA, to the correct customer record. Again, nothing gets done without your business rep signing off saying, yep, this is correct, we're good with it. C-Trip is supposed to be 20% off gate, Viator is supposed to be $5 off gate. They're going to give it the okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Build your new sales program. Make sure you have an expiration date in the future. I have all mine set for December 31st, 2099. And again, provide that list to your business rep. So C-Trip, this was customer 867, by the way. They were on the Connect sales program 23. I'm moving them to, I also attached, sorry, not moving, also attached, the 20% off gate sales program 87 that expires in December 31st, 2099. Viator is going to get the partner $5 off gate, and Connect Your Guide is also getting the 20% off. Again, just build this list. Here's the new sales programs we are attaching. Not removing any, these are going to stay. We're just attaching the new sales programs. Again, get their approval, get their thumbs up. Once you have their thumbs up for that list, give us the list. Okay, send that list in to your supply partner manager. Your supply partner manager may set up some time, just kind of review with you, make sure everything is in agreement. They may run some tests on their side, try to send down an order using that new sales program, make sure it flows through. And once they've verified, tested, and configured, they'll let you know. And then all you have to do is, again, download those changes. End result, when a guest buys from C-Trip, C-Trip will send in a booking saying, hey, this is for Starlight Zoo. And when Galaxy Connect sends the order on behalf of C-Trip customer, we'll simply use the new sales program. Again, no rates attached. This is simply just saying, use this new sales program ID. That's it. Same thing with Viator. It'll just attach the correct sales program, the differentiated sales program. Same product, nothing. There's nothing new for the OTA at this point. For them, the process is exactly the same way it used to be. We're just attaching a different sales program when we send down the order. That's really it. That's the process of differentiating your sales program. That is phase one. Not hard at all. During phase two, now we'll start consolidating your products. This is where the OTAs are going to get involved because chances are you're going to have a new product code. So again, this is going to fall into a bit of a process here where you're going to stage it, build that new product, make sure your price points are right in Galaxy. We'll validate it both in Galaxy and with your supply partner manager on the Connect side. We'll transition to that new product with your OTA. And then we'll, maybe at the end, you want to remove your old products, clean things up a bit. So concept-wise, again, really simple. Right now, I have different product. I have a adult GA for C-Trip, an adult GA for Viator, and an adult GA for Get Your Guide. We're simply going to build a new adult partner GA, and we're going to set it to gate price. Because my sales programs are 15% off gate or $2 off gate or $5 off gate, whatever your sales programs are, but they're all related to the gate price. So I'm going to set this new product to that gate price. Then using that new 20% off gate price sales program that already has all of the current tickets you're using as part of this transition, we're going to add that new partner GA ticket to that sales program. Oh, and by the way, this is where the rate kicks in. So we'll introduce this new partner GA at the gate price into the sales program, and then we're going to use the sales program rate, in this case for the 20% off, to knock down that price. Same thing goes with our $5 off gate sales program. Introduce the new product, use the sales program rate to knock down its price. Once you've done that, your OTAs are still chugging along happily, selling the original product. Nothing looks new to them. We're going to start validating stuff. We're going to build an order in order entry. In my example here, I'm going to build an order for C-Trip, and they're supposed to be using the 20% off gate sales program. So I'm going to add in one of the original tickets, the legacy ones they're selling right now, and it's going to come into my order at $12. And I'm also going to sell one of these new partner GA tickets, which is priced at $15, but my sales program is going to adjust it down to $12. So now my order is showing the original ticket and my consolidated ticket for C-Trip are coming in at the exact same price. Get the business rep to look and approve and say, yep, that's working. We're happy. Let's move on. Once you've built that order in Galaxy and you have your proof of concept, you can show that business partner and they sign off saying, yes, all of these are good. Let us know. Let your supply partner manager know. There's a reason they have the word partner in their name. So they're going to do their own testing. They're going to try it out. They're going to make sure everything looks good on their side. And then after that, it's transition time. We're going to come up with a plan with the OTA, say, okay, here's the new product you're going to start selling. Here's the cutover date when I want you to start selling it. And, oh, by the way, between now and the cutover date, you might want to try to get that OTA to run some tests of their own. Try selling the new product, make sure they're happy with it. Cutover date comes along, they stop selling the old legacy product, they start selling the new product. Done. You've now consolidated. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to say we should do a little cleanup. Now that C-Trip is selling that adult partner GA, you can go to the sales channel manager and you could probably remove those old products. They're not selling them anymore. We've passed our cutoff date. Everything's verified. Remove those old products. Just to keep things clean, make your life easier going forward. C-Trip is no longer sending down any orders using that old sales program. You can disassociate that sales program from that customer record or customer category, depending on how you're doing it. In the new sales program you're using, we have, again, our new ticket that they're now selling now that we've passed up their cutoff date, but that old C-Trip legacy ticket is still sitting there. We could remove that from our sales program. And if you want to go even further, you can go into the product record and you can deactivate the product and say allow sale never. You can totally shut it down in Galaxy. And as you consolidate your other OTAs, you're going to drop their specialty products from them too. And really what you'll be left with is just the product that, just the product using the rates, selling through all your distributors, and that's it. So really not a hard process at all. It is very methodical. It looks like a lot of steps because we're trying to keep it simple and make sure there's plenty of checks and balances along the way, that we have all of the proper sign-off as we go along, that everybody's staying informed. Because at the end of the day, again, Connect is a collaborative tool. It is all about building relationships between the suppliers and the distributors. So you need to get everybody involved and make sure that we're all communicating so that we can be successful. So again, not that these processes are really not hard. To be honest with you, I was playing around with it this morning and I consolidated 2 vendors just messing around. But I have the advantage of I don't have any legal agreements. I have a demo environment. So the whole process is really built around making sure there's proper communication and that everybody's on the same page. So yeah, that's really it for rolling it out in the new processes. Once everything's rolled out, then you're golden. You have a consolidated sales channel manager with only current products. You can put products up as you need to as a business rep, directs, and you can remove stuff that's no longer for sale. It's all smooth sailing from here on out. So the panel has been a little quiet. Do we have any questions we want to bring in?
I actually have a comment, Bill. I just wanted to go over something that Bill did a really good job covering it. But I wanted to reiterate at the end because this is important. So the two parts that he showed in the process, the using sales programs to manage prices and then talking about price schedules, the sales program managing prices is transparent to the distributors. They don't know why the price is what it is. They just know what it is when they get those products. They will know if you change products. So if you remove product code ABC123 and add product code ABC125, they'll see that. And that could actually break sales if they're not expecting it. So, Bill talked about communication. You always want to make sure that you're communicating, that they know when you're making changes. If you're planning on removing one, they're prepared. If you're planning on adding new ones, they're expecting them, because you could break sales if they're not. Some of their systems are more automated. They'll be looking for changes and responding. A lot of them are rather manual on their end, where they need to know and prepare in advance. So communication is key. The other functionality that Bill talked about was the price schedules, and the product where it's a different price at 5 p.m. than it was at 12 noon, or a different price on weekends. That is functionality, again, that the distributors have to implement on their end. From a timeline standpoint, we don't know in Connect, because that's up to them to decide what their development schedules are and where that falls in their prioritization. We've been talking with a lot of them, and some of them have been looking at being able to support this, and they're moving ahead. But it could literally take months to a year for them to be able to support it. That's why it's important for you and your team to be in contact with them and let them know the priority to you. You have the financial relationships with them, so you are the best motivator to get that functionality on their calendars, sooner rather than later.
Do we have any other questions, discussions we want to bring into today's session? Okay, wow, 21 questions. Okay, so I could see there were a lot of questions, and a lot of them do have answers. If we didn't get to your question, we will be following up. So again, don't feel bad if you don't see your question answered. We apologize. We may not have been able to get to all of them today. But if there's none others that are flagged for verbal response, I'm going to say, we can wrap it up here. We'll end 10 minutes early. I want to thank everybody for your time and attention. So if you want to stick on, if you have some questions that weren't asked, we'd be happy to do so. But other than that, I think we will wrap it up here. So again, thank you everybody for attending. Thank you for filling out the poll. That was quite useful. And I hope you're excited for these changes as I am. So thank you for joining, and have a great afternoon.